Hi lovies, how are you doing? Hopefully you're good. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, it's something new that I never did before, and this time around I decided to try something new that I never did, twist a special very long up to my butt. So this is very first time, and I hope you will enjoy watching this video and you'll get something. If you're my returning subscriber, thank you so much, honey, for coming back. But if you're new to this family, you are welcome. My name is Glory Mtoi, and if you find this video is helpful, before you leave, give this video a big thumbs up and don't forget to share with your loved one because sharing is caring. I'll be using this Brazil wool. You may either decide to use any length you want, and beside that you need some braiding hair. I use expression hair, but I cut into 4 pieces, so you need really short because I will only add this braiding hair in the end of this twist. So I go ahead and start parting my hair, and of course you need some gel that helps you to get clean and neat sections. I'll be doing not too small sections, but not bigger, medium length, medium size, I can say this. And after that, I go ahead and apply some gel. And each section, I'll be using 10 strands. So after this, I'll divide my natural hair into two, just like so. And then I'll put these strands in between of my natural hair. Then I will take elastic band or rubber band, whatever, and I will secure together, make sure everything is well secured. And after that, I'll divide my hair into two, and then I'll apply some gel. Why I apply some gel after is because it will make my hair easily to tuck in. And of course, after I divide my hair into two, as you see, each side goes to one section. So I make sure before I start to make twists, I tuck in my natural hair. And how I tuck in my natural hair, I put my natural hair in between these strands, and then I wrap, and I make sure I cover my natural hair well. Then I start to make twists. The way I make twist is a regular twist. You have to roll both sides before you start twist. And I keep going till in the end. I make sure I keep such a very small space. Then I take a tiny piece of braiding hair, I put in between the sections. Then I keep rolling and twisting, rolling and twisting. And after I twist like 3 times, I go ahead and then I add again. And why I add again, I make sure it's almost in the end of the Brazil wool, so I add again to tuck in Brazil wool easily. And after I add another piece, I twist like 3 4 times, make sure the wool is finished. I cover the wool well, then I secure the section. Why this time I decide to use braiding hair in the end is because I ever did a video shows how to curly Brazil wool, and a lot of people complain that in their home countries wool it's so hard to curly, it doesn't come out nicely. And this time around I decided, why don't I use braiding in the end of my Brazil wool so that I can get something nice and beautiful. And of course, if you can blend well this Brazil wool with braiding hair, trust me, you'll get something nicely. So in the back again, I take another 10 strands, and before I secure them with the rubber band, I make sure I fold the strands, make sure both sides are even. Then I divide my natural hair into two, then I put braiding hair, sorry, I put Brazil wool in between, then I secure with rubber band. And of course, after that, I separate my natural hair into two. Both side, I make sure I apply some gel, then I roll very well, make sure my hair is inside, then I tuck my natural hair well, make sure my hair does not show out, because if you have natural hair and then when you are braiding, if your hair shows out, especially if show out too much, it's a bit annoyed. But if you can tuck your hair well, of course it's hard to cover natural hair 100%, but at least you have to try to cover 80%, 90%. That's fine. And then after that, I keep roll and twist till in the end. As you saw the first strand, I put both strands even, but this time around, I decided to pull some wool a little bit longer to make in the end a bit thin, because I find when I put both of them even, it's a bit hard to make them in the end because they'll be like bigger to small size. So this time around, I decided to pull some hair out. I make sure some strands they're longer than other, and then I get like really very nice ending. As you can see, this time in the end looks much better than the first twist I did. So if you are braiding, before you're braiding, make sure you pull some wool to make them, at least pull three. If you're using 10, you can pull three, make them a little bit longer, so that in the end the hair will be thin, from bigger to thin and not too thin in the end. And guys, here I almost done. So this is my last section. So if you find like you use two small sections, you don't need to divide your hair into two after you use rubber band to secure. You may decide to go in, put your natural hair in one section, just like in this twist. As you see, guys, I put my natural hair in only one side of twist. I didn't divide my natural hair because at this time I see like my hair is not much compared with back. I use a little bit bigger sections, but in front I use a little bit smaller compared with back. So I find out I don't need to divide my natural hair into two after I secure them with rubber band. Hopefully this makes sense. So I keep going till in the end, and of course if I see some wool, it's almost in the end, I make sure I tuck them well to avoid have much flyaways. And before in the end, of course, you have to add twice braiding hair so that you can curly them in the end and get something nicely and beautiful. So here I'm done, and this is how in the end my hair looks like. You may either decide to use flex rod. These flex rods, I got them from Amazon long time ago, like 3 years 4 years ago. But then if you don't have these flared flex rod, you may either decide to use wool. I have a lot of methods I show you guys on how to curl your hair in the end. Kindly watch my previous video, I show different methods. So you may use this method, or you may use wool to curl your hair, or you may use any kind of flex rod you have. And after this, of course, you have to dip this wool in hot water and make sure you leave them in like 1 minute, and then take them out and make sure you use towel to make them a little bit dry. After I dip them in hot water and take them out, I take this flex rod immediately. I didn't wait till this wool become dry. So after I finish take them down, of course you have to trim in the end to make sure everything there well and beautiful. And guys, this is how this hair looks after I curl it in the end. They're so beautiful though. And I decided to go ahead and to spice up a little bit of this look, which I take more braiding hair and put them in these flex rod. I make like four flex rod only. So like this, each piece I divide into four. You might see like it's small, but I don't need too much. So I decide every piece I divided into four. And then I go ahead and I crochet these curls on my hair. Just like so. It's so easy. Just go ahead and apply. Don't put like fully because it's so easy for this hair to tangle also. So just put fewer to spice up your look only. And guess what? This is the final result for today's video, guys. Let me know, what do you think about this look? Would you add this boho look, or you are very fine to go with curly end without this boho look? And this is how the hair looks in the back. Hopefully you enjoy watching this video, guys, and you get something. Kindly let me know in comment section you are okay with style number one with that boho, or with boho look. I will see you soon, guys, on my next video. Bye.